Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw. It's our favorite episode of the year, at least mine, Larson.
Yeah, mine too.
It's
I love this one.
Predictions for 2023. I like this because we get to go back, and we're going to do that here in a moment. We're going to go back in time. And I don't know. I think one of my predictions from last year, which I didn't put on the actual prediction sheet, was simply that 2022 would be fairly boring compared to 2021.
Oh, yeah.
And that encapsulates, I think, most of our predictions for 2022 in general, in that we just got a lot of stuff wrong.
Oh, you got that right. I'm looking back at not only our predictions, but we always like to say, who do you think is going to be champion at the end of the year? You know, like, I don't think either of us at the beginning of 2022 really had a much thought in the way of, oh, they're going to unify the titles. You know? I think there might have been some chatter, but the reality of them doing it, they're not going to do that. This is create more headaches than it's worth.
Right.
And not only they unify WWE Universal titles, did the same the tag titles too.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, some of this stuff, like, how would you even guess that Ace Steel would bite a guy? Would bite Kenny
that
Omega?
Vince would step down. Yeah, there's no way going into 2022 we'd have thought any of that was possible.
Right, exactly. I mean, 2022 really was like as crazy as 2021 might have seemed, with AEW signing a bunch of, prominent WWE, released or contract expired free agents. All out 2021 was a big deal, felt like a big thing. And it wasn't even the half of it. I'll be honest with you. It seems quaint at this point compared to what happened in 2022. You mentioned it, Vince stepping down.
Cody leaving AEW, wouldn't have thought that was going to happen. Sure enough, it did.
Yeah, that was huge. That was crazy. And so yeah, I think, going into 2023, we're going to look back here in just a moment at our 2022 predictions and see just how wrong we got them. So much of 2022 came out of left field. The Wall Street Journal all of a sudden just reported that Vince has a bunch of allegations and NDAs and stuff. And that led to him resigning. All Out seemed, honestly, the Brawl Out situation just seemed to be from, personality conflicts backstage, which just blew up.
Yep.
And it was sort of exacerbated by Tony Khan seemingly like sort of going all in on CM Punk as like his favorite guy. And there, lies a little bit of the conflict as well. That's all stuff that I don't know could be predicted. Is there anything coming up in 2023, like in terms of just generally speaking, your predictions, which we'll get to here in a moment, were they informed by what was going on in 2022, or did you try to hit some home runs?
I tried to hit a couple home runs, perhaps. I don't know if they're necessarily home runs.
Out of left field is sort of what I'm getting at.
No. Nothing I have here is necessarily out of left field. Something I want to keep in mind is, hey, what's some good headlines or stuff with the title?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So there's areas where you got to make a splash, obviously. One thing that's going to be interesting coming up in 2023 is, so we're going to have a lot of, either we have or we're going to have, I feel like a lot of the first cycle of AEW contracts starting to come up.
Yeah.
From the launch. And it's going to be really interesting to see if we're going to have quite a few people switching companies or not over the next year and a half, maybe even 2 years going into 2024. That's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And that kind of, to a degree, informed at least one of my predictions for next year.
Yeah. Same as me. Yeah. Be interesting to see. Yeah.
So, and there's some things that happened in 2022. It's like, oh, okay, maybe this is going to happen in 2023. Maybe not. Who knows? But before we get to there, let's talk 2022.
Yeah.
So we always try to make generally 5-6 predictions about the wrestling world as a whole. And then we try to predict who's going to be champions at the end of each year. So
yeah, sure.
We'll start with our individual predictions. First prediction I had for 2022 was more main roster stars on NXT. We started getting a little glimpse of that, I believe, at the end of 2021. And there was, I don't know if you'd say substantially more, but there were more. It was a more regular occurrence where you'd have Natalya show up for a little bit. You had, Apollo Crews kind of went back to NXT. You had the Waller AJ Styles feud early in the year.
Yeah, so this was actually a pretty good prediction because it was with the Waller AJ Styles feud that the report was Vince's plan throughout the year was to be crossover storylines between NXT and main roster, where things like Waller would show up on Raw, AJ Styles would show up in NXT. And I think the idea was to keep that going. And although, Vince being taken out of the equation was, maybe changed that plan a little bit. I mean, clearly, New Day, they're currently NXT Tag Champions. You still see that happening in NXT.
You do. And then, of course, the Good Brothers, after they re-signed with WWE, teamed up with Cameron Grimes. Take on Schism. Those are just a few examples. I'm sure there were more.
You saw like Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez went to main roster to find pick your poison opponents for
and it was Rhea Ripley and
Raquel Gonzalez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you saw plenty of that. I expect that's probably going to keep on going.
I would expect so.
In the new year as well. So this was sort of a weird qualifier. I had this one. There was a weird qualifier to it though, and it was AEW Forbidden Doors closed unless I specified in the actual episode unless they do an actual Forbidden Door show and Japan's travel restrictions ease up. But my central thesis at the time was we would see less of AEW actively trying to be the place where everybody comes to, where Impact, where they sort of dominate the scene everywhere else. Like you saw Kenny Omega be the Impact champion over there. And the Forbidden Door thing was much bigger, I feel, in 2021 than it ended up being in 2022, besides the fact they had a literal pay-per-view called Forbidden Door.
There was a bit of crossover between Impact and AEW. We had Frankie Kazarian beat Mike Bailey for the X Division title. He cashed in option C. Got himself a title shot, 45-minute bout against Josh Alexander, one of Steve's favorite matches of the year.
Oh, man. Terrific bout. Yeah.
So it wasn't as if the Forbidden Door was closed completely, at least as it relates between AEW and Impact. It was open about a crack.
I think peak Forbidden Door, besides the actual pay-per-view, for me, was Tony Khan appearing on Impact television commercials, running down Impact Wrestling.
Those are pretty outstanding.
Those are that's peak Tony Khan right there.
But
yeah, no, that one, maybe I can finagle a little bit of truth
I'll
out
give
of
you
that.
one.
But
Take that one.
My next one, a total gimme. I don't know how many gimmies you had. Mine was a total gimme. I said nobody not named Brock or Roman will carry the Universal title in 2022.
You know what? I remember at the time we did this episode last year. I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay, here's the thing though. This is why that one isn't terrible, because there was one moment this year that we both felt they might have actually taken the titles off of Roman at Clash of the Castle, and I feel like them being able to sow those seeds of doubt, I was like, oh man, I wouldn't have been surprised if Drew McIntyre, in which case this wouldn't have been a gimme. This would have been a prediction that I simply got wrong, even though I was trying to go for a gimme. But it was a gimme. It was
at the time it was a gimme. My second, I didn't get any of the other ones right for my predictions. Next, I had Braun Breaker goes to main roster. I thought they were going to strap a rocket to Braun. Yeah, he'd have the story, him learning how to be a champion. But once he learned how to be a champion, like once he got the title off Dolph, maybe he'd moonlight between main roster and NXT a little bit, and by the end of the year, be on main roster completely. None of that happened. He's still more or less learning how to be a champion in NXT, and who knows how long that's going to take for him. Yeah. Braun's not on main yet.
Oh, man. Main roster, here I come. Oh, I'm going to come all over your moist schism. This one's actually, I felt like this was a pretty good prediction. Man, why has he not been on main roster? I appreciate that Shawn Michaels has said we need to flesh him out more. I didn't realize I was going to be showing him fishing.
But I didn't know this would be Shawn Michaels' War and Peace.
Yeah. So here's my next one. I feel like this one I could finagle into being an accurate prediction. The summer of 2022 will be the summer of Adam Cole. Now, hear me out. I don't know if you're aware of a Twitch channel called Chugs, but if you look at that Twitch channel, you could very well claim that the summer of 2022 is the summer of Chugs.
Nice try.
Oh, look, I didn't know he was going to get concussed all to hell. He got concussed at Forbidden Door. What month was Forbidden Door? June?
Late June.
Late June?
Yeah.
In the lead up to Forbidden Door, he was doing stuff.
I mean, he had 2 title shots against Hangman leading up to that, and upset that he didn't win the title. He was like, all right, I want the IWGP title now.
Yeah. The thing is, like, this clearly would indicate that he would have won the AEW title at some point during the summertime.
Yes.
So sorry, Chugs.
Speaking of AEW, I had a couple AEW predictions. First one here. AEW Rampage moves nights.
They need to.
They definitely need to. Hasn't happened yet.
I don't think this is gonna happen. I really wish they would. I don't think it's gonna happen though. I really don't.
I don't think so either. But I mean, I guess the numbers on reruns of Big Bang Theory or endless replays of Star Wars movies are larger ratings grabs than live professional wrestling. Apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, sometimes not even live though.
Yeah.
My next one, I guess there are I forget if these rumors were before the year or after the year about the whole Raw going TV 14. I thought NXT 2.0 was going to go to TV 14.
Yeah.
Largely, I thought that because I forget when the reports came, but like it's a very horny show, and I was like, if you're going to experiment a little bit, you're not making a ton of money off of that particular TV deal, but like experiment a little bit. Add, a little bit more sexual innuendo, maybe use some curse words. Maybe NXT could be the edgier product. But that never happened. And I don't really see it happening.
No,
it's a bummer. I wish they would. I wish they'd rebrand as kind of like I'm not going to say ECW, but like an ECW in tone, maybe, just a little more urgent. It's just not a very urgent show.
No, it's not. It's not. My next one here. So I predicted that Cody was going to go after a title. I didn't expect it to be the WWE title. I thought he would turn heel and go back on his pledge to not pursue the AEW championship. Obviously, it didn't happen. He's not even with the company. He left the company like in February last year. So,
the thing about that one though, it does sort of indicate that Cody's ambitions remain true. I personally think he left AEW because Tony Khan didn't give him enough of the book, but in character, he's chasing titles. Yep. And, he couldn't go after the AEW one. So what does he do? He goes after the world title in WWE.
Yep.
In kayfabe. Maybe that prediction was actually correct. My last one, I'll be honest, I think it was a pretty darn good prediction. Bryan Danielson wrestles for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Didn't happen, though. Yeah. I know he was on and off injured for some of the time.
I mean, he was supposed to take on Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door. That was supposed to happen.
And I would have thought that would have led to him going to Japan to do
entirely
stuff.
Yeah.
But was he injured during like the G1?
No, I don't believe so.
All right.
It was must have been after Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
After the Anarchy of the Arena match, he was I think concussed during that bout.
I'm kind of surprised that they're not using him for Wrestle Kingdom, to be honest with you. But so that alone sort of torpedoes his prediction a bit, because if he's healthy now, why wouldn't he be if he was going to be? Exactly. But I don't know. Maybe that'll happen in 2023. It's not one of my predictions, but maybe it'll happen.
But it could be. One of my last ones here. This was more wishful thinking than anything else. Although I thought maybe he had fulfilled his obligation of his contract, and I think he has. Goldberg. I predicted that he would retire this year.
Yeah.
I believe I read not that long ago that he's obligated the number of matches, or he's met the obligation for number of matches that was in his deal. His deal hasn't expired yet. But he's not required by his contract to wrestle anymore. So maybe he will retire. It didn't seem like it based on his tone and what he said of late, but
so the only thing about this one is it seems like WWE might think that he's still worth something to wrestle, because if you remember when Brock walked out over the Vince news, there was a report. I think Cultaholic actually had this.
Yeah, that they called Goldberg. Yeah,
they reached out to Bill for that. I think they still sort of see him as a break glass type guy in like a Brock level situation. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know, man. He went out on kind of a high with that Bobby Lashley match. I thought that was a pretty decent, fun match. And you know how it is with these wrestlers, man. They go on a high. They want to get back on the horse sometimes. They want to ride it until they can't. It takes them a couple failures to be like, I probably shouldn't do this again.
Yeah. I had one more here, and it's more about our channel. I said we'll finally get to 198,000 subscribers. Not close.
I think we got to 197 this year.
Yeah, we did.
We did actually have, like, throughout the year we had some positive growth. And I have a. So do you have a? We'll get to it later at the end of our predictions. Do you have a going in Raw prediction for the new year? I do. All right.
Well, maybe your prediction will inspire me to think of something.
There you go. Yeah. Do we want to go over the
let's go over our champs real quick. Like we go by company. Let's take turns. This is what I had for WWE. I got a couple right here. Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Obviously,
I got that one too. Yes.
WWE Champion. I had Randall Keith Orton. Who'd you have, Steve?
I had Orton as well.
Got that. We both got that wrong. Intercontinental Champion. I had Sheamus.
I had Corbin. You're closer than I am on that
one. For the U.S. Champ, I have Montez Ford.
Oof. I have Kevin Owens. I feel like I was a little closer than that one.
Yeah, you were closer. For Tag Team Champs, I had The New Day and then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I had Alpha Academy on Raw and the Usos on SmackDown, so at least I got that.
Yeah. For Women's Champs, I had Bianca Belair and then Sasha Banks.
I had Bianca and I had Charlotte, who hasn't been seen in forever.
Yeah. Women's Tag Champs, I had Naomi and Toni Storm. I don't know why I have them as a team.
Wow, that's an awesome team. I had Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss.
Oh, okay. And then we predicted the 24/7 champ at the end of the year, even though that title's not around anymore, apparently, with R-Truth.
Yeah, same. But Nikki ASH ended up being the final one.
For AEW champ, I had MJF. I'm sure you had the same.
Wait. You didn't have who you thought was going to win the Rumble?
No, we didn't do that last year.
Why do I have it written down? That's weird.
I don't know.
I have Brock.
Interesting.
Who's up next now? AEW?
AEW. I assume we both had MJF as champ, yeah?
No, I had Adam Cole.
Oh.
Yeah, Summer Cole's going to be he's going to dive into the winter.
Cole, apparently.
Yeah.
For Women's Champ, I had Thunder Rosa.
Same.
TNT Champ, I had Keith Lee. I know who you had.
I had Sting, baby.
TBS Champ, I had Jade Cargill.
I had Ruby taking it off Jade. I guess not.
And then Tag Champs, I had Redragon. The Dragon again.
Yeah, same.
Folks, that's never going to happen.
What about? I have a bunch of NXT ones written down. Did you NXT?
Yeah, I do too. I have NXT. I have NXT UK, and I have New Japan.
Okay, yeah, same. For NXT, I had Braun Breaker still.
Oh, I had Walter.
Oh, Gunther. NXT Women's, I had Cora Jade.
I had Kaylee Ray. Alba Fire. I didn't expect her to change her name this year.
Yeah. North American Champion, I have Joe Gacy.
I have Solo Sikoa.
Hey, he was North American Champion.
He was, at least during the year. That's true.
Yeah. NXT Tag Champions, I had Briggs and Stratton.
I had the Creed brothers. At least they were tag champs this year.
They were tag champions, yeah.
I guess we could review NXT UK, even though it's not a promotion anymore. For champ, I had Ilya.
Yeah, same.
Which, had he not gotten hurt, he probably would have been the last.
He would have been the last one, yeah.
The tag champs, I had Teo Man and Charlie Dempsey.
I had Subculture.
I was close on this one. Women's champ, I had Blair Davenport.
Yeah, I had that as well. Yeah.
And then Heritage Cup holder, I had Nathan Frazier.
Oh, I had Charlie Dempsey. I think that's a good shout.
That is.
New Japan. These are terrible. Mine are awful.
Let's hear. I can't wait.
So bad. IWGP champion Kenta.
I had Kota Ibushi.
United States champion Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh yeah, I got this one right. Will Ospreay.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Never champion Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, that's what I had too.
Junior champion, I had Yo. Currently, it's Ishimori.
Yeah, I had Sho.
Okay, all right. Junior tag, I've got LP and Ishimori. I don't even know who is the junior tag champions.
It is United Empire. It's Akira and TJP, I think.
Okay, all right.
I had Yo and Robbie Eagles.
Okay, well, that's not a bad one. Heavyweight tag champs. I have the Tekkers.
The Tekkers.
Yeah.
I got Shingo and Naito.
Okay.
I guess we didn't expect FTR to win the IWGP heavyweight tag titles, huh?
Yeah, I guess not. 6-man, I've got I just have written down Chaos. I don't know.
I got Bullet Club, baby. House of Torture.
Is that who it is right now?
Yeah, it is House of Torture.
Nice. I had Jay White winning the G1, but it was okay.
I had Ospreay. And then I had Yano holding the KOPW trophy.
Who has it right now?
Shingo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's nutty.
That is crazy.
All right, man. We're going to dive into our 2023 predictions. But first, let's go ahead and pay some bills, Larson.
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break here, friendos. This episode of Going in Raw is brought to you by BetterHelp. You know, Steve, basically every single one of the Christmas gifts I got my kids came with a user manual, and got me to thinking how, there have been times where I wish there was a user manual for life. And I know I've talked about it a lot here on the show, but in my 20s, I was feeling pretty overwhelmed by life's challenges and started dealing with severe anxiety. And it got to the point where I made the decision to go to therapy.
Yeah, well, therapists are trained to assist you in processing challenging emotions and to help you learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing we have to that user manual you're looking for of the complex machine called you.
Me?
Everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Steve. And while it took me a while to find a therapist I felt comfortable talking to, once I did, I was able to learn the tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
All you got to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist, and if things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off. Save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
All right, man, let's go ahead and get into it. Time for our predictions for 2023. By the way, we're putting time codes in here so people can click on it if you're like, these guys spent 20 minutes talking about how wrong they are. All right, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Without a steady influx of former WWE stars to help boost their profile, AEW's growth is going to stall, causing them to overpay for mid-level former WWE talent, and ratings will average out at around 800,000 total viewership. They're still going to get a decent TV deal, though. Maybe not what Tony Khan wanted, but because that demo number is always going to be pretty decent. But yeah, I feel like there's not going to be any huge names. It's all going to be like, at most, upper mid-level guys in WWE because people seem happy in WWE and they can pay more money.
Yeah. There's a risk that AEW in that respect can kind of turn into a bit of what TNA was. Because that, I know TNA got a lot of guys, former WWE guys who were getting up there in years.
Mm-hmm.
And they really try to push those guys, but at the same time, after that period where, like they had Steiner, Booker T, Kevin Nash, Sting, Kurt Angle, after those guys started kind of winding down their careers. And it was a period where it seemed like, okay, well, this person, got released by WWE or, didn't achieve the level of success they quite wanted. They'll go to TNA then.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That could be since you mentioned that, I'll do this one. So if you look at AEW's ticket sales of late, especially in markets they've revisited quite a bit, it's not that fantastic.
Yeah, they've gone down, yeah.
Yeah, substantially. So there's been a lot of talk of AEW doing house shows coming up very soon. And I think that'll probably happen, but I think they're going to have to really temper their expectations because they're running a lot of venues now that are 5, 6, 7,000. I mean, here in Sacramento, they're running Golden One Center. What, 15, 16,000?
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to do that for house shows. I think for house shows, they got to set their sights at like 2,000 seat venues.
Yeah, it's going to be more like Memorial Auditorium, yeah.
Yeah, maybe even 1,000 seat venues because like the major stars will be on some of those, maybe, but not all of them.
Yeah.
A lot of those shows I feel like are talent they want to get extra reps in. Some of the younger talent, maybe some of the developmental men and women. Because JR's talked a lot about how some of the younger talent aren't getting the reps they need on whether it be televised AEW product or Dark and Elevations. So that was one of the reasons he was really pushing for the return of live events. I have a feeling if that's going to happen, AEW doing house shows, a lot of the matches are going to be along those lines. Maybe they'll have some major stars and tag matches in the main event, but not on a regular basis. Like I don't see Mox being on doing all the house shows,
Yeah, Mox is the one guy who might actually do all the house shows, but I take your meaning because Mox, he just does everything. But I definitely take your meaning. I think, it's not going to be headlined by like their major stars. Yeah, no,
like the Elite's not going to be on there.
I wonder how much of it is going to be tied to the economy as well. As we know, everybody's been fighting inflation. We're probably headed into a recession. That's what a lot of people are saying. And I wonder, how much of that plays into it. I hope, by mid-year, we'll be in a better situation. Maybe people are going to be spending a lot more money, and maybe they'll be able to recover some of that. But I get the feeling that the economy has something to do with that.
Oh, for sure.
Here's my next one. WWE's global localization picks back up with one new territory announced in addition to NXT Europe actually starting. Mm-hmm. I think Triple H is back in charge. This is what he always wanted to do. He wants to be the end-all, be-all. And I think it's another way he can sort of fight AEW for talent is to, lock down some territories. But yeah, my prediction, this is a solid one. One new territory announced.
Where do you think that, what territory?
You're asking way too
is?
much. I don't know. Japan seems really like a difficult market to crack for WWE. So maybe they'll like buy the Crash or something in Mexico. I don't know. Or maybe they'll do it in India, maybe like a left field place. Those are the three things that sort of come to mind.
Okay. While we're talking NXT, I feel like we're going to see a lot of NXT call-ups in 2023.
Sure.
And I'll give you a number.
Okay.
At least 7.
Wow. Okay.
And here's 11 names. I think it's entirely possible there'll be someone else potentially be called up. Braun, Cameron Grimes, which his call-up seems a near certainty.
That should be like yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. Carmelo Hayes.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Trick Williams.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
Von Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
Creed Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Gigi Dolan.
Mm-hmm.
JC Jane.
Yeah.
Nikita Lyons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if any of them are called up this year.
I see like a case could be made for all of them. There's one exception I'll make, and that's I think that they probably want to turn Julius into a singles guy. And if they're going to do that, they're going to do that in NXT, not on main roster. So I could see the Creed sticking around a little while just because of that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, everybody else you said, there's no reason for them to be sticking around NXT.
Yeah, if Grayson doesn't beat Braun for the NXT title, send him up.
Yeah.
He's ready. Send him up.
Yeah. I will do my next one that sort of dovetails from yours then. With all those call-ups, NXT will reload mainly from high-profile free agency indie/New Japan names. Main roster will see former AEW names show up because I think you're right. I think those contracts in AEW, they're going to start coming up. I think WWE is going to start snatching them. They're going to be putting them on main roster, not starting out in NXT. But I think this might be the year where they start to sort of gradually and very sort of subtly remake NXT to be a little closer talent-wise to what it was in the black and gold days, where high-profile indie names, guys that you'd see in like West Coast Pro out here, maybe GCW, but GCW is a very unique thing.
Yeah.
But like Prestige Wrestling also out here on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. Names like Kevin Blackwood, guys like that, guys that typically, AEW were snatching up. I think the WWE is going to go back to bringing in the highest profile indie names into NXT over the course of the year. Former AEW guys who have already built a brand on cable TV, they're going straight to main roster.
Yeah, I actually almost put NXT is going to start signing more indie talent. I was very close to putting that on there. Speaking of former AEW talent returning to WWE, say yeah. Revival. Return to WWE. Dax Harwood, in an interview, I believe, with Fightful, said their contracts were up in April of this year. I think we're going to see them start dropping those belts. We saw them drop the Ring of Honor titles, the Briscoes. They're probably going to drop the IWGP titles.
This was the one that was shocking to me because this is on mine also. FTR comes back to WWE. Right. There's a rumor that says they're going to be dropping the AAA titles
sooner rather than later. Yeah,
which is kind of shocking because AAA loves having those titles out there.
Yeah. They'll probably lose the IWGP ones to Yoshihashi and Goto at Wrestle Kingdom. They lost in their bid to take the titles from the Acclaimed in AEW.
They got beat by the Gun Club.
Yeah, I know. So it seems like maybe their time in AEW is coming to an end. I know both Dax and Cash have talked both on and off TV about their legacy, and they've really done a hell of a job cementing their legacy as one of the great tag teams of all time outside of WWE. They haven't exactly had the greatest success in main roster in WWE.
Right. Yeah, NXT, they had a killer run in NXT,
absolutely.
and then Vince treated them like basically a comedy act.
Yeah, and if that's kind of like the last thing they want to add to their legacy, to really cement their status as one of the great tag teams ever, they go back to WWE and have a hell of a run. It's done.
Yeah,
that seems like kind of the last thing they need to check off their list. It's entirely possible, as Dax said, they'll take some time away from televised wrestling to kind of do some stuff they want to do. But at the same time, they're probably both in their mid-late 30s. If this is something that's of high value to them, they probably want to get on it sooner rather than later, so they don't have to worry about potential injuries happening that would preclude them from maybe doing this, be able to do this. I'd be pretty surprised at some point during the year they didn't go back.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be sooner than later too. I think that April, who knows if that means April 1st or I know WrestleMania is March 1st and 2nd or April.
No, it's April
1st
1st.
April 1st and 2nd. They could be there night 2. Maybe they'll be there night 2 or night 1. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, no.
So no, I got that one here. My next one is the boss, the Blueprint. Sasha Banks is going to come back to WWE right when they want to boost some ratings because they got these TV negotiations. They're going to need all hands on deck, and if that means they give her $3 million to come back, even for that honeymoon phase, they're going to do it because they're going to need that. I think the Triple H just sort of burns through these returns, and he's going to need a big splash, especially like right when these contract negotiations kick off. I think that's when she's going to come back. I don't know if that's going to be WrestleMania or what the deal is going to be. I know. So like the contract, I think the new contract begins in 2024, I think. And so like basically from WrestleMania until whenever, they're going to be negotiating this new deal. So I don't know if that means she comes back for WrestleMania. That seems soon, or afterwards, maybe for SummerSlam. I don't know. But I feel like she's probably they're going to end up giving her the money that she wants because they want to pop those ratings. And what's $3 million when you're trying to get $2 billion per deal?
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of new TV deals, I got one here related to that. So I can't remember who was speculating on it, but Brandon Thurston talked about someone speculating about.
Yeah, I forget his name. Yeah.
And apologies for that. That NBC Universal and WB might want to bring all their programming back under one umbrella. Of course, WB has the current iteration of the network here in the States on Peacock, Raw and NXT, of course, on USA, part of the NBC Universal family of networks. But of course, you have SmackDown over on Fox. Now, I'd be really surprised to see SmackDown move back to an NBC Universal channel that's actually not NBC. Because from WB's perspective, why would you take one of your two largest properties from a network, a broadcast network, not a cable network, a broadcast network, and just move it to another cable network? Doesn't make any sense. That's a step backwards, it seems like to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like SmackDown will either move nights or move networks in this new TV deal.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think this is going to happen, but imagine if Triple H really wanted to really stick it to AEW and the new deal says, I want SmackDown on Wednesday.
Oh, no, really?
Imagine if that happened.
That'd be nuts. Yeah, dude, I was thinking about this because I was looking at NBC on Friday nights the other day. I was actually thinking about this one. I'm trying to find that one, but I can't find it from Brandon Thurston. I think it was that long ago. And right now, I think they've got that new game show, The Wheel, on Friday nights.
Oh.
But when it debuted, it didn't do well.
Yeah.
and so NBC on Friday nights. But God, I hope that it changes nights. I don't care what happens. I just really, really hope it changes nights. It'd be kind of interesting if NBC tried to go, and I don't know what they usually have, like if they have any sports. Does NBC have college sports on Saturday nights? Because they could try to do a Saturday night main event as like the SmackDown show, weekly show.
So I'm looking here on, I mean, this is interesting. So on Wednesdays, NBC has Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. I don't know how successful those necessarily are, but they got a whole, 3-hour block of Chicago-themed shows, so they must do pretty well. Yeah. Fridays is when Young Rock airs, at least as of right now.
Yeah, right.
So if you want to do, if they want to have but also Deadline's on Friday nights. And I'm sure you want your Dateline's on Friday nights. I'm sure you want to keep your Dateline on from 9 to 11, Steve.
Of course, who doesn't?
But
you have great SmackDown would be a great lead-in for that.
Or you could have SmackDown from 7 to 9, Young Rock from 9 to 9:30, 9:30 to 11. You get Dateline.
Yeah, man.
That's that's a great lineup of television right there.
Oh, absolutely. I'm trying to find this darn thing, but I guess it will not. This man will not be credited.
Apologies. We mentioned it last week on one of our new shows.
Yeah. All right. So I hope SmackDown moves nights because then we can review it on Friday or Thursday or whatever.
Exactly.
What do you think the likelihood is that like NBC Universal, like this is a big money deal, and they're like, you want to put SmackDown against another wrestling show? I don't know. I don't know how they'd how they'd respond to that, but maybe they can put it on against Impact.
Yeah, but
yeah,
you want the Wednesday Night Wars to come back. You have SmackDown and Dynamite going head to head.
The thing that's really interesting about the AEW TV deal coming up is that what a terrible time to have to negotiate a TV deal with everything going on at Warner Brothers Discovery. Mm-hmm. It's a shit show over there.
It really is.
And it is not going to be easy to negotiate this deal because it's like you'll be halfway through it. You'll be 3 months deep into it. And then like the person you're negotiating with will change. You know?
Because they're not with the company anymore.
And who knows if they like wrestling. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my next one here. Oof. It was a gimme last year, maybe. But my prediction is Roman Reigns will be Universal Champion through all of 2023.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that, dude, he's got to lose this at a WrestleMania, and he ain't losing it at this WrestleMania if he's going to be taking on The Rock. So I think Roman Reigns is going to be Universal Champion through all of 2023 because, dude, who's going to beat him? Yeah, at this point, it has to be a kingmaker. It has to be somebody huge. It has to be like, and I don't even know if it's like a Seth Rollins level guy. I feel like they need somebody who
maybe beats him anytime soon. It's going to be Cody. It's Cody.
It would be Cody, but right now the rumor is Cody and Seth are going to be fighting, or Drew or somebody's going to be fighting for the WWE title.
That's if The Rock do WrestleMania. If The Rock can't do WrestleMania, the rumor is that's going to be Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know. If they're looking to split the titles, then that WWE title's Cody's. It is.
Yeah. Well, that's the story. It should be Cody's.
But I don't see that Universal title leaving Roman Reigns. And if it happens, it's going to happen at WrestleMania, and it's going to happen to a guy and I'm not saying it's him, and I'm not saying that they're doing the right thing with him right now, but it's going to be like an Austin Theory. And I'm saying an Austin Theory a year and 4 months from now, because that's enough time to build him up properly. And I'm not saying it's him. I'm saying it's somebody like him, or like, again, another name that should be, I think, further along as a character, Braun Breaker. It should be somebody who is fresh, is the future of the company, and in a year and 4 months is going to be undeniable. I don't know who that is. Maybe at that point, I know this is completely off from what I was just saying, but it could be like a Finn Balor guy. I don't know. Somebody who, man, he's so popular, who's so there. And I don't think it's Sami Zayn. I know a lot of people say Sami Zayn. I don't think it's Sami Zayn. Sami's not like a future face of the company guy. He's like the most popular guy right now, but for very different reasons. I think they want it to be like whoever's the next Cena is going to be beating Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that, but I feel like Roman's going to lose that title before the end of the year because I feel like once he drops that title, he's on Brock's schedule. He's going to have less than 20 matches. That is actually my prediction. For 2023, Roman will wrestle less than 20 matches. I think he had about 50 this year, including live events. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And after he drops that title, that number is going down significantly. He'll show up for the major pay-per-views, and he'll wrestle on major pay-per-views, major house shows, and rarely on television.
I think a case could be made that he could carry the Universal title and still do that.
That's entirely possible.
I think that might be the case because I don't disagree with that prediction. I think that he's in 2023. He's going to wrestle a lot less matches. Mm-hmm. He was talking this past year about not doing house shows anymore. Yeah. I don't think that necessarily means he's got to get rid of the title to do it.
I don't think it necessarily does either, but I feel like if they do, the match they really want is Roman Rock at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then Roman wins that. He can carry the title to SummerSlam. You want SummerSlam to feel like a huge deal. Have someone beat him for the title there.
I was thinking SummerSlam too, but I kind of feel like it's not big enough. I think you need like a crowning huge moment at like a WrestleMania moment. But we'll see. I don't know. I have a 50-50 shot at this one. It's either he'll drop it or he won't. I don't know.
Yeah, he could drop it at Mania this year or next year or somewhere.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Do you have any more predictions? Because I have one more.
I have one more. What's your last one?
No, go ahead. You go.
Ric Flair's going to wrestle in 2023. Woo! Yeah, I believe this shit. I'm surprised he didn't wrestle again this year after his last match.
Yeah.
He's going to wrestle in 2023, man. That shit's going to happen. And it's going to be ugly as fuck. Because it's going to be like probably for some promotion who's like, let's put him in a singles match.
I got someone else who's going to return to wrestling in 2023. Phil Brooks.
No. What are you, Steve, in 2019? Get out of here.
I was reading the transcripts of Dax talking about all that.
Well, bad move, podcast. Dax, by the way. Bad move. Blocked. His number's going to be blocked by Punk.
Yeah, maybe. He seems hopeful about the possibility of Phil returning to AEW. Well, maybe hopeful is not the right word, but
wishful. He's wishful.
He's wishful. He's hoping all parties can work things out and continue to do business. And if CM Punk comes back to AEW, I feel like there's a better chance of FTR sticking around to AEW.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
If this buyout that Phil and Tony Khan were supposedly negotiating has been worked out or is worked out by the time FTR contract is up and CM Punk isn't going to be there. I'm not saying it's a given this FTR is leaving, but Dax and Phil, as of now, seem close.
Yeah.
Seem like they're friends.
Yeah. The same Dax who just got beat by the Gun Club.
Yeah. So anyways, it's, I think should be able to return the ring around April from his injury. I think it was 8 months was the recuperation time from the triceps injury. Depending on the length of the buyout, no compete. If he's healthy to return to the ring, whether it be in AEW, whether it be in New Japan, whether it be in WWE, whether it be in Ring of Honor, whether it be in Impact, whether it be in PWG. Mm-hmm. If the reports are true and Phil wants to wrestle, he's got that wrestling bug again. Mm-hmm. He's going to wrestle.
Yeah. This is a really tough one. I was racking my brain trying to think of what my actual CM Punk prediction is. And I think, I'll be honest, I think if it's anywhere, it's going to be AEW. I think that when he's got the only sticking point with that is he's got to apologize to Hangman. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you can't call it. I don't think he has to apologize to the EVPs. I don't think he needs to come out and say, hey, I'm sorry, guys, because, I think that they probably didn't do much to help the situation in general.
Yeah. And
but you can't say you've done nothing and you're an empty-headed dumb fuck. Like you can't say
the Hangman's done nothing when he was the champion before Punk won the title.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're devaluing the belt that's literally sitting in front of Tony Khan by saying that.
I think when cooler heads prevail, I think if when things calm down, they understand that they can make a lot of money off that. And I maybe it's a possibility that AEW, and maybe WWE, they got a lot of money. And again, they're going to want to boost ratings because they got a TV deal. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe around SummerSlam, we'll see CM Punk show up in WWE. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to see, but I have no... Again, yours is a 50-50. Either he comes back or he doesn't.
No. Yeah, there's no middle ground, really.
Right, yeah. So that's all the predictions I have. We're going to talk about the Friendos predictions because I put out a community thread for the Friendos.
Very good,
We're going to talk about those in just a second here. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with who we think is going to be champion at the end of 2023.
All right, so in WWE, this is who I got. Let's do belt by belt and alternate. So for Universal Champion, I have Gunther.
Universal Champion Gunther, really? Wow. Yeah. Ooh, I like that one.
Imagine if they do this. They have Gunther. He's undefeated. He wins the Universal Championship, and they set up a program between him and Drew for Mania 40.
That'd be cool.
In 2024.
That'd be cool.
Then they have Drew be the guy that beats Gunther. They finally give Drew that huge WrestleMania moment in front of the crowd that he was denied a couple years back when he took the belt off Brock at PC WrestleMania. I know it's a match that Drew really wants.
Yeah.
And I imagine that could be really spectacular if they give those two guys 30 minutes to beat the hell out of each other.
All right. This is going to be one of those next year. You're going to be like, what was I thinking?
It's entirely, a lot of these, here's the thing. You got to really think about it and think about good storyline reasons why they should happen or could happen. I'm always wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just going out on a limb on a lot of these.
Mine are solid. Here we go. WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
Yeah. You really need to say anything else. WWE Champion, I think we're probably going to be in agreement with this, Cody Rhodes.
I got Finn Balor. I think Judgment Day is on such a fucking trajectory. We're going to get a lot of gold in Judgment Day in 2023. I love to see this. Oh, my God. He comes out with that blank mask of his and the WWE title. Holy crap. I think Cody's going to get it. I think Finn will take it off him, though. I think that's a killer feud right there. Could you imagine Cody and FTR, Cody and the Revival against Judgment Day in a feud?
That could be good.
Ooh.
I got Finn as my U.S. champion.
Okay. I got Bobby Lashley.
He's going to win. He's going to win a belt at some point this year.
Oh, for sure. I think it'd be great if it was the top title. I got Lashley as U.S. champion because he makes such a great U.S. champion, and I think her business is going to be back together.
That'd be awesome. For Intercontinental Champion, same answer I had last year, Sheamus. It's the one title he hasn't won.
Okay.
It's traditionally the workhorse title. Banger after banger after banger we get from Sheamus. Give him the IC title.
I got AJ Styles. I think he's going to move back to SmackDown. Him and the OC. It's the house that AJ built. They'll get to rebrand from black and red to black and blue. And I think Gunther is going to end up breaking Honky Tonk Man's record of 450 some odd days. He's only about 250 days away from that, which is it's 8 months. And so maybe at like SummerSlam, AJ and his dudes versus Imperium. And then we'll get AJ versus Gunther at SummerSlam, and I think AJ will win it there. I think and it'll be a fucking killer match.
It'd be great. For tag champs, I imagine they'll split the titles. If Revival of FTR goes back to WWE, they'll be champs by the end of the year.
Yeah, I got them for SmackDown tag champs. For Raw tag champs, I got Gargano and Lumis.
Interesting.
Actually, FTR should be on Raw. I'll go.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's why I got Revival on Raw as champs, and then I have the New Day as SmackDown tag champs.
Fuck it. They'll move in the draft. Gargano and Lumis are SmackDown tag champs.
I almost had DIY, reunited DIY.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know when
Ciampa is going to come back. Women's champs, I have Rhea Ripley on Raw.
Me too.
And then Charlotte on SmackDown.
I got Shayna Baszler for SmackDown. I think all this has to lead to her getting the title off Ronda.
You like to hope so. Women tag champs, I have Raquel and Shotzi. They'll probably put a team together and they'll win the titles.
I got Toxic. I think Toxic Attraction. Yeah. They're an actual tag team.
Yeah, they are an actual tag team. Who do you got win the Rumble?
Oh, man. Cody Rhodes, of course.
Yeah, Cody.
Yeah, win that. Absolutely.
What about Money in the Bank?
Oh, shit. Money in the Bank. God. Ugh.
Right now, I got Carmelo. Put it on. Have Melo win Money in the Bank. Have him get called up after Mania.
Well, hold on. Who do I have? Let's see. Roman's keeping that shit. Oh, Finn Balor. Judgment Day.
That'd be cool.
That would be fucking sick. Rebrand that briefcase in purple. That'd be cool, man. I'm all in on Judgment Day in the new year, man.
Yeah, I can tell. AEW title holders. Who do you got for the AEW World Champion?
I still got MJF. He's going to wrestle like 5 times, which if that's true, that's lame if he does that. Hopefully they don't actually do that.
I'm sure they want to tell the story of, is he going to leave as champion? And
I know, and
they kind of have to have the belt at least at the end of the year. Maybe he won't hold it all the way through the year, but at the end of the year, he's got to have that title.
Here's another prediction of mine. It's going to turn. Somebody's going to do some reporting on this. MJF signed through 2027. The 2024 bidding war is all kayfabe, brother.
Yeah. Who do you got for your AEW Women's Champion?
Britt Baker, DMD. Can't go wrong with that. They're going to circle back around to her. Who do you have?
Jade Cargill.
Oh, okay. There you go.
She's got to win the Women's Championship at some point this year.
You think so? Yeah, that's actually that's a pretty good choice. I still have her as TBS champion.
I do too.
Yeah. Is she going to have both of them? Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be neat.
That would be awesome. Who do you have as your TNT champ?
Oh, man. Excuse me. My goodness. I'll go with Swerve Strickland.
I had Swerve.
Mogul Affiliates.
I'm going to say Ricky Starks.
I just erased his name so I could put Swerve. I feel like that'd be kind of a step down for Ricky Starks, to be honest with you, because he just fought for the big title. And unless look, Samoa Joe is no chump, but yeah, I don't know what you do with Ricky Starks now. You just got to keep on building him up. I guess TNT title, that's a good one.
I mean, that's what he said his promo after he lost. It's like, all right, now I got to take the steps to get back to World Championship, and maybe part of that is mid-card title holder.
Yeah.
You said TBS champion Jade. I agree. Tag champs. Who do you got?
Young Bucks.
Yeah, same.
Probably, they'll have like a big thing with the Acclaimed. Acclaimed will win the first one. Bucks will take the second one, and then the Bucks won't give them a third match.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
That's what they do with FTR.
Trios champs.
Only so I can manifest this into real life. House of Black has a dominant trios run.
That's
so House of Black.
House of Black as well. And then who do you got for your All-Atlantic champion?
Again, another one I want to manifest. Miro. Come on, the Redeemer.
I got Powerhouse Hobbs. All these little videos, which should be one large, or at least two large videos. All these videos they got of him. It's got to lead to something.
He'll win that, yeah. He'll be the guy to take it off Orange. That's a good one. Yeah. The only question is then, does he keep it throughout the year? He might be shooting too early.
I know. But Powerhouse Hobbs, I feel like we'll have that title at some point this year. Those short kind of vignettes they're doing. Got to lead to something. Got to lead to something. All right, let's talk NXT. Steve, who do you think is going to be the NXT World Champ at the end of 2023?
Going out on a limb on this one, man. Julius Creed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be around in NXT or if he just made these couple appearances and he's going to go back to NXT Europe. I got Ilya. If Ilya is sticking around in NXT, if he could be in NXT in 2023, he'll be the champ by the end of the year.
All right, I like it. I would not be upset with that. NXT Women's Champion. I got Cora Jade.
Same.
Yeah, okay.
It makes all the sense for her to take the title off Roxanne.
All right, man. Who's your North American champion?
Apollo Crews. I have a vision of Apollo winning a title. Again, this might be a situation where it's going to be well before the end of 2023. His whole thing is, I came back to win championships. Mm-hmm. Will it be world? Will he get the top title? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Will he get North American title? Seems pretty likely.
You make a good North American champion.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with this guy. Axiom. Maybe they'll unmask him. He'll get to be A-Kid again. Or he'll still be Axiom. Axiom is a cooler name than A-Kid, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
See, I got Axiom winning that.
Who do you got as your tag champs?
Briggs and Jensen. Again. Second time in a row. I'm predicting that they're going to be tag champs.
I got Inoue and Blade.
Oh, I hope so.
Me too.
I really hope so. They're awesome, yeah. Oh, man. Hold on. I'm going to change my North American one to Odyssey Jones.
Ooh.
Jones. All right, there we go.
Who
do you have for NXT Women's Tag Champs?
Shoot. I forgot to write that one down.
I got one. I got an answer. Kiana James and her assistant. It's the only tag team I can think of.
I mean, there's Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley.
That's actually a good point.
I'll go with them.
All right.
I'll go with Ivy and Tatum.
All right, fair enough.
Because maybe they're kind of parallel in the story with that Carter and Chance had, where it's like they get opportunity after opportunity and kind of come up short, and eventually they'll win it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to end up being like Sol Ruka and, I don't know, Nikita Lyons. Yeah, Tiffany. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Actually, Tiffany Stratton's not a terrible name for NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah. I put Impact champions here down. I don't know if you did.
Oh, awesome. I didn't, but I'll play that game. That sounds fun.
Impact World Champ. I got Jordan Grace. End the year with Jordan Grace as the World Champ.
All right. Boy, oh boy. I'm gonna say, God, Masha hasn't even been on TV lately. Gee, Willikers. My world champion is gonna be, God, I'm drawing a blank right now. Josh Alexander's the main champ. Who's there? Do they have a mid card? What's their mid card? Who's in their mid card?
Well, I mean, it's like pretty much the X division.
Who's
originally first I wrote down Speedball.
Oh yeah.
But then I thought maybe Jonathan Gresham just signed. I'll put Jonathan Gresham. I was like, nope, I'm going with Jordan Grace.
Oh yeah, no, I'll go Jonathan. I'll say Jonathan Gresham and Jordan Grace are the top, and then the women's top. Yeah, I'll say she'll keep it all that time.
I have Jonathan Gresham as the X Division champ.
Oh no, he's not going to go to the X Division. He's going to be main eventer. He's going to be the guy that takes it off Gresham, man. That's going to happen.
Gresham's gonna be the guy that takes it off Gresham.
You heard me. 2 Greshams. Gresham's gonna be the guy that takes it off Alexander. I think that's gonna.
It's a Rawgate Rawgate situation here.
It's Impact. They do everything cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Impact Tag Champs. Motor City. Bullet Club.
No, someone just beat Heath and Rhino for him.
Yeah, it was Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but they're not gonna hold him that long.
No.
I'll say it's gonna be something weird like.
Oh, I got it.
Who?
I'm gonna say Ed Edwards and PCO.
Yes, that's the best answer. I can't top that. That's the best answer. I love that.
Who do you have as your X Division champ?
X Division. I'm gonna say. Golly. I'll put it back on. Trey Miguel's a champion right now, right?
Yeah.
God, who's in the division? I'm totally drawing a blank.
Well, there's Taurus. There's Speedball.
Oh, I'll say. You know what? I'll say he's not like an X Division guy, but he shouldn't be a main event guy, and they don't have like a proper mid card. I'm gonna say Cody Deaner. I'll say the design get the X Division champion.
He was actually the first name I wrote down for X Division champion.
Oh, there you go.
Knockouts champion. Who do you got? I got Masha. Assuming that she's signed with Impact, she's got to win that title this year.
I think Masha's gonna end the year as NXT Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't actually. I have Cora Jade.
Yeah, Cora Jade. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be Jordan Grace.
Knockout tag champs. Who do you got?
It's going to be Perazo and Giselle Shaw.
All right.
Sure.
I got Tasha Steeles and Savannah Evans.
Perazo's going to end up in NXT probably. Didn't she? I think she tweeted something recently about that.
Yeah. Digital media champion.
Digital media champion. Oh, man.
Ace Austin.
Nah, man. Bhupinder Gujjar, finally. He's going to get that title.
There you go.
Yeah. Or is it going to end up being Moose? Moose is going to beat Joe Hendry. Why Moose has looked like such a clown against Joe Hendry in this whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
It was pretty funny.
New Japan champions. Safe bet, go with Okada to be the world champ. I'm
going to go with Ospreay. I'm going to say Ospreay is going to close the year as champ. I think he'll win it at Dominion or something. I don't know.
All right.
That's going to be Okada. Okada's going to always win it at Wrestle Kingdom and then lose it at Dominion.
Yeah, maybe. Who do you got as the IWGP Women's Champion?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Sasha Banks.
Okay. I got Julia.
Okay. That's a name I hear a lot, so
yeah.
Probably. That sounds good. Who is it now? Is it Kairi Sane now?
Yeah.
Or was she? I thought she was like the top. No, she's the
No,
IWGP.
she won it. She beat Mayu Iwatani for it.
Okay. All right, yeah.
U.S. champ in New Japan. Who do you
got? U.S. champion. I've got. God, I didn't do any research on this one. We'll go with Evil.
Okay. I got Tama Tonga. He's going to beat Carl Anderson at Wrestle Kingdom for the Never title. He'll have that for a while. He'll lose it, and he'll move up to the U.S. titles picture.
All right, there you go.
Junior heavyweight champion.
Junior heavyweight champ. Oh, I think I wrote this one down. Oh, Chris Bay.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I know. That'd be cool, right?
I got Kushida.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, that's good.
Never open weight champion.
Tama Tonga.
Oh, for the whole year?
The entire year. You'd be sick of it with Carl Anderson, I tell you what.
I got Great O'Khan. They got to put a title on that guy at some point, right?
Oh, yeah. He just won the British heavyweight title. That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Oh, no. That's my U.S. title is Great O'Khan. It stays in the United Empire. Will Ospreay wins the top title.
Yeah.
And then Great O'Khan wins the U.S. title.
Wins the U.S. title.
He's the Allied champion. He has the British and the U.S. titles.
What about for heavyweight tag titles? Who do you got?
Heavyweight tag titles. What do I have written down here? I don't have anything written down. Bullet Club, Evil, and who's he tag with? It'll be
Dick Togo.
No, it'll be Naito and the other Sonata.
I got Sonata and Shingo.
That's good. Well, Shingo's now a comedy act, so he'll be the king of pro wrestling guy in 2020.
No, that's Tai Chi. That's Tai Chi's trophy or belt. It's belt now in 2023.
Oh, that's right. They turned into a belt, huh? The king of pro wrestling thing.
Suzuki Goons no more.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Taichi's got to have a thing. Junior tag champs. I got Leo Rush and Yo. They won World Tag League or Junior Tag League.
I got Bay and Austin. Bay and Austin. What's the name? Ace Austin. Yeah.
Ace Austin. Of course, never 6-man tag is House of Torture.
They
should just hold those titles in perpetuity.
They should just rebrothers get custom titles. House of Torture.
Exactly.
Titles.
Who's your KOPW champion at the end of the year?
Same as last year. Chase Owens.
All right.
Is he even with the company anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Who do you think is going to win the G1?
Kazuchika Okada.
All right.
It's going to be like, what is it, like twice
It'll be 3 years in a row, yeah.
3 years in a row?
Yeah.
It'd be 3 years in a row?
If he won it again, yeah. If he won
it this year, he won it last year? I thought it was Kota Ibushi last year. No, you're right. That was because last year was when Kota Ibushi was injured out of it, right? Yeah.
Yep, in the finals.
Okay, oh yeah. Yeah, Okada 3 times in a row. Yeah.
I got Jay White. Jay White wins it.
Okay, that sounds right. That sounds correct. You want to do Ring of Honor?
Oh gosh, sure.
I got Samoa Joe as the Ring of Honor World Champion.
I got Daniel Garcia.
Oh, that's good. He'll be my TV champion. Daniel Garcia is my TV champion.
Oh man, who's be the new king of television? Jay Lethal.
Oh, that's good. Who do you got for Ring of Honor tag champs? I'll go. I've got the Kingdom, Taven and what's his face,
Mike Bennett.
Yeah,
that's good. I'll go Kingdom too. What about the pure title?
I forgot about the pure title. Somebody young. Action Andrade.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Lee Moriarty.
Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's what he wanted, huh? Action Andrade will take it from him. I think Lee Moriarty.
There we go. At the end of the year, women's champion. I got Willow.
It's gonna be Willow. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be Willow.
You said we got some
Friendo
predictions for next year.
I put a community thread up to see what the Friendos all think about this stuff, and I'm gonna look at that right now. I asked for their mute that for their predictions for the year 2023. We've got.
Oh, look at this. Is that supposed to be Nostradamus there?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So Cameron Shank says there will be a small period of around 1.5 months where the top 3 American promotions, WWE, AEW, Impact, will be at the top of their games creatively at the same time. Cameron thinks they're all going to be killing it. I was actually going to say one of my predictions is going to be WWE is going to open the forbidden door, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see here. Noob and Company TV says Asuka comes back as her Kana persona in WWE and becomes a main eventer. I would love to see that. I think that'd be great.
Mikey here says this Bray Wyatt Alexa Bliss story ended up being cool and interesting despite the goofiness of Uncle Howdy.
I could see that happening. I have a theory about Uncle Howdy that I hope is true, and we'll talk about it on the show when we talk, because we're going to talk a little bit about SmackDown on whenever we talk tonight.
Really? That means I have to watch it.
Or the other night on AEW. Just watch the Bray Wyatt stuff.
All right.
Michael Petrosky says there's going to be a multi-promotional super show, at least more than 2. Wow.
Oof.
Wow. Oh, multi-promotional as in more than 2 promotions.
AEW, New Japan, and Ring of Honor, that could definitely happen.
Ring of Honor doesn't count because it's owned by AEW.
I know, but it's in theory its own promotion.
How about AAA, AEW, and can't be New Japan.
It'd have to be Impact.
WWE. Yeah, Impact. Let's see here. Shavon says Rhea and Dom will both hold gold together as a power couple. I hope so. I can't make it in jail. Mommy, I can't make it in jail. Bail me out.
Ryan here says the Going in Raw YouTube channel will finally break the 200,000 subscriber mark.
I think that could happen this year because we do have like we're focusing a bit more on YouTube this year. I think that's a possibility because especially with like shorts blowing up the way they are, I plan on doing more of those for the channel. I think that's a possibility this year with us going back to YouTube doing more stuff.
Jose Alaguna says FTR, Miro, and Andrade will leave AEW to go back to WWE. FTR is the only one I'm pretty sure that has their contract expiring this year, this 2023. So odds are pretty decent for them as far as Miro and Andrade. I think Miro just signed a new deal recently.
Yeah, I have no idea how that's going to play out.
I mean, I don't think Tony Khan is terribly inclined to release people from their contracts early.
If he releases Andrade, it's going to have a no compete clause for WWE. I think that he might be inclined to release people, but as long as they have no competes for WWE. I don't think he wants to set the precedence of like, oh yeah, you can just pitch fit and then leave and go to WWE.
Yep.
Gear Fifth says CM Punk comes back to AEW. All right. Ad Savage says Cody Rhodes will be the undisputed Universal Champion. Okay, he thinks he's going to have both belts. All right.
Fazzy here says CM Punk and Sasha Banks return to WWE after mending fences. The Forbidden Door show is a joint venture between WWE and New Japan. It's talked about more than WrestleMania.
He also says there are more AEW to WWE defections, not the ones that everyone thinks. I think that the AEW to WWE defections, I think that's going to be much more than WWE to AEW.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Just One Tony says Sasha Banks returns to WWE and Solo Sikoa wins the IC title. I'm sort of doubtful about Solo Sikoa doing that, but I think Sasha's going to come back to WWE. That was one of my predictions too. I like this one from Carlos. Abuelito Mysterio, I think it's Abuelita Mysterio, will start managing the Judgment Day. So Dom's mom is going to start managing the Judgment Day. Yeah.
Jordan here says Roman will be forced to drop the WWE title, but will hold the Universal title the entire year.
Oh, wait, does he mean Grandpa Mysterio? Because Grandpa Mysterio was seen in the fucking Christmas thing.
Yes.
I don't know. Roman will be forced to drop WWE title hold. Yeah, I think that, I don't know how they're going to play that out. Maybe they'll do it through the Rumble. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Logan says Sammy wins the Rumble main events night one.
Okay. Irish Insight says Cody's going to get his WWE Championship match at WrestleMania and lose.
Oh, wow.
I don't know about that. If somebody said, hey, it's going to be some combo of Seth, Drew, and Cody. That's the only weird thing about Cody coming back and feuding with Seth is that Cody's going to win.
That's be 4-0 against Seth, yeah.
I don't know if they want to do that. Seth is so popular right now.
I know.
Gamers X says Ronda Rousey loses the title and walks away from WWE. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
Canal Zero says Carmelo wins Money in the Bank.
There you go.
It's entirely possible.
There you go. Lord Blake says Adam Cole retires from wrestling. Speedball Mike Bailey wins the Impact World title. Bobby Fish finds the lie. And WWE and New Japan begin a relationship. That last one, that's not outside the realm of possibility. That's not outside WWE and New Japan. If things go smoothly with Carl Anderson, I think it's not unlikely that we see AJ Styles at Wrestle Kingdom just accompanying Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Gore here says that Rhea Ripley has an intergender feud or storyline.
All right. Okay. I'll believe that one when I see it, but it's possible. John Davies says Chugs will retire and become a full-time streamer. Larson will get through an entire Triple H conference call without interrupting him.
I've tried that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Because then he just starts bugging you about, are you still there? It's
it's
like he goads you into it.
And then I try to respond, and then he says, don't interrupt, yes.
Yeah.
Metalcore Kid has several here. Cody wins the Rumble and WWE title. Ratings war between AEW and WWE will restart. A major player in AEW will jump ship to WWE, perhaps Kenny Omega.
Wow.
Dolph gets released from WWE and has a career resurgence in New Japan, and then Gunther versus Roman at SummerSlam.
I see Dolph. If Dolph gets released, he's going to have a career resurgence doing stand-up.
Yep.
I don't think he'll go anywhere else to wrestle.
He'll try doing the movies.
Or AEW will vastly overpay for Dolph Ziggler. That's the kind of thing that I think might happen, is that they're going to be overpaying for guys like Chad Gable, Dolph Ziggler. Maybe, I don't see the Street Profits leaving, but maybe like an act similar to Street Profits, guys who are sort of like haven't taken that next step that we all want them to take.
Yeah.
I could see AEW overpaying for acts like that.
Yeah. I could see that too. Deborah Smith says Rhea wins women's championship. I think that's a high probability that happens.
I think that is very likely.
High probability.
Yeah. Jellyhead says female. Oh, a female wins the IC title. So like a Rhea Ripley type wins, yeah. I'll believe it when I see it. And then Jordan says Jade Cargill becomes a 2-time champ. That's what you think, a champ. All right.
Yep.
Not a terrible prediction. Pretty good predictions there from the friendos. Let us know what you guys think. What are your predictions for 2023? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to hit that sub button so we can get to 200,000 subs in 2023, man. Let's get a jump on that.
That'd be cool if we could fulfill that prediction. Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.